add a little bit more depth to that 1 minute video. Basically what I'm looking for is not the estimates, but actually when the technology rolls out and we actually get real testing from like a third party to see if that battery can last at least 10 years. And the reason why I'm using the 10-year benchmark is because, you know, the average American drives about 1,000 miles a month. And that ends up being, you know, around a, you know, Honda and Toyota. So if you're going to sell a car for $25,000, that's very competitive and comparable to like a Honda, Toyota, whatever. Even though Hondas, Toyotas are going to last way more than 10 years, the way I look at it is, okay, if you can make that battery stretch 10 years, in that 10-year span, battery technology will get better. But in the meantime, if you're driving 1,000 miles, that means that it's roughly, you know, 30 miles to a gallon. You're buying about 33 gallons worth of gas, which is roughly $100 a month, which is $12,000 a year. You add in all the other car maintenance, such as oil changes, cabin filters, and all that. You add another 3, you're going to save $15,000. Now, let's say year 7, year 8 in, you want to just change out the batteries, and it's going to be hopefully half the cost of that. Let's say if you saved 15 grand, if you're following my math, but it only costs you about 8 grand to replace all the batteries inside that Tesla that you have to keep going, then, you know, you're obviously winning in the long term as, you know, individual investment on your end. And you know, there's obviously, there was like a negative comment out that I was reading some of the threads saying, well, this is only going to put them at X amount of profit, which would be at max capacity is 5 billion, but it's trading at a $300 billion or $400 billion market cap. And I keep saying, people keep forgetting this again, is, you know, the kilowatts per hour, the energy they're producing, Tesla is trying to produce that energy for you as well, right? They're more than just, you know, the car company. They're also producing the energy, right? Because they're going to sell you their solar panels. They're going to add to the grid. They're going to have their supercharging stations, what they'll charge a membership for. And on top of all that, you're still paying for software updates, right? So sometimes, in a sense, what you want to do, kind of like what Roku is, which I would love to talk about Roku too coming up, because, you know, basically you want to get the hardware into the people's hands. Once you get the hardware in people's hands, you get them a part of their ecosystem. Once they become a part of your ecosystem, that's when you become highly profitable. If you look at Apple, yeah, maybe they only make about $100 or $200 a phone when they could be making $3, but their goal is to make a high quality product, get it in the hands of everybody. And once you're on there and you're making in-app purchases and whatever, now they could sell you on their Apple Music. Now they could sell you on, you know, their iCloud service. They could sell you on a bunch of other stuff. Sometimes it's just getting the hardware to somebody, even if it comes at a loss. You're looking at long-term sustainable profitability. You know, there's a lot to be said. I mean, I'm excited about it. He's pushing the envelope in the sense of, like, you know, if he could break through and he could use nickel and iron as a base and silicon, and the reason why silicon is very important is because it's the most cheapest material in the world, and so is nickel. That's why they're going to be able to achieve the cost reduction in batteries, and cars will become cheaper. But it's also going to force everybody else to jump on this or to beat this. And it's going to spark innovation, because now if you want to beat Tesla, you got to either come in cheaper or come in better with longer range, right? So it's gonna spark and push this forward. And that's why LG fell today. It was the chemical company. LG is one of their leading partners. It's because, well, if they're bringing everything kind of in-house, you know, what do we got to do? And I think that LG will be fine. It needs to start innovating too. It can't just rely on, oh, okay, we were just going to become a third party. And I see what Nikola is trying to do with, Nikola is trying to outsource stuff and all that. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I know I've been hating on it a lot, but hey, you know, just get a product out there, sell it. And if, you know, people like what you got to sell, then, you know, you can always start reinvesting back in the business and growing it. And that's what kind of Tesla did. The only difference between Tesla and Nikola was Tesla did use another car company's, like, everything to brand their first Roadster, but they did always have some type of their own tech. And then they quickly started developing their own tech, such as like over-the-air updates, and now obviously their own battery, which, or well, at least they're contributing to, let's see how the deal with Panasonic and everything else mix out. But you know, there's a lot of moving parts there, but basically they have something to bring to the table. That's my only bad thing about Nikola. You don't have anything to bring to the table. But you as an investor in Tesla, what you're really looking for is, you got to believe in Elon. You got to believe that they're going to be able to make a breakthrough, and you got to believe that that breakthrough is going to lead to lower prices on the battery. And if you believe that, then of course this thing is going to continue to moon. I hope this helped. You know, I'm pretty excited about the future. All right.